Pati, we are going live. There is some technical thing, so I'm working.
Okay.
Okay, we are we are live. Okay, so yes, yes. Okay, yeah, but we are live. So we
Okay.
will continue. We'll see. I put shared the teams. Let me share the pools.
Okay.
Vijay is in. Hi, Vijay.
Is he in? Yeah, I
Yeah.
see him.
So can you see the screen? I think you
Yeah,
can.
yeah, I can see your screen. Yes.
Yeah. So
Oh, he
you can
dropped
see the
again.
pools, right?
Yeah. So let's let's go to the pools.
Mm-hmm.
Uh.
Yeah. Viju left again. He'll join quick.
Okay.
So we have
Let
three
me.
pools. Which pool you think it's tough?
I think so. This year, just when the draws
Mm-hmm.
were taking place, I definitely felt Group B is the one which would be a real hard one. Not because I think a lot of strong teams are there, but I think because a lot of equal teams, relatively equal, are there,
Okay.
and a lot of teams are, obviously a lot of unknowns are there, in terms of local boys and um, SLCC Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
Those two probably we don't know how they'll shape up and what's the strength of SLCC Guardians. But if you look at the top teams, you have GLCC, which is always a strong side. You have KRCC, you have Stars. Those probably are the top three teams, and then you have teams which are going to be fighting for that fourth and fifth place, which is between the Strikers and Patriots, and I would say even between and even SSK. So SSK, Detroit Bulls, Hitmen, I feel are teams which are, you can never take them lightly. They are always going to give you a tough time. It's not going to be an easy game where you can basically rely on just having the 3 points right away, just by showing up there. So I think that's why I would say Group B is probably the one which I would say is going to be interesting. In terms of Group A, I think I don't see a lot of surprises. I see, definitely Sterling Strikers, just like how they had last year. They would be a force to reckon with. And between them and Indus Thunders, it's going to be a fight for the top two positions. Indus Thunders and Indus Thunders, I don't think they care to be the top team, but come playoffs, I think they will definitely be a full strength unit. But Sterling Strikers would definitely give them a run for the top position. And you have, for the third and the fourth, you have Raptors, which are obviously a great team in the pool stage. They've haven't had a lot of luck in the playoffs. Come playoffs, I think they always somehow find a way to um, disintegrate. But I would expect that they've learned from the mistakes, and this time around, it'll be a different story. But apart from these three teams, there is not a lot of fight which I see coming from the other teams. Yes, they would fight amongst themselves, but not challenging the top three or four teams. So the Raptors, Sterling Strikers, and Indus Thunders should find it relatively very easy to come through in that pool. And then if you look at Group C, again, I would say Group C for the Glads and the Pokeries, I think they would be very happy with the group they have. Yes, there would be some challenges. You have legends also. Obviously, I forgot them, but these three would dominate the pool, and then you have other teams. Detroit Titans would be my outside bet to uh, topple one of these three because I think they have a fairly good unit. Pokries would be another one. But Dynamites I would have considered from last year if they had the same unit. But from what I know, they've lost a few players. So I would be really, really surprised if Dynamites pose any challenge. Even getting to the playoffs would be a challenge for them. Um, so I wouldn't give them the bye to come in the top five. MCC Miles, they are a miracle team. They have beaten the best of the best in the recent years. Whether they continue that form and continue through the playoffs, that's a big question mark. But other teams, Troy Hawks was a great surprise last year. Again, they have a very big squad. If you look at their squad, it's like 45 members, and there's always a surprise or a two in their squad. So that team is also on the rise. But overall, I think Group C again, you can pick the top five teams, and you can say these are the five teams that will come through. So for me, Group C again should be very predictable.
Viju, you're mute, Viju.
You guys able to see?
There he is.
I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we can see you, hear you, everything.
I'm still trying to figure out how do I see you guys on the side this thing?
There's an option in the top. View. You can change your view, I think.
Yeah, it's at the top you see view, and you can see side by side gallery.
I see meeting, and then I see view. Under view, I see only show chat and close manage participants.
View in the screen on the top right corner of your video, right? Or my
side by side gallery. All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So what are we talking about? I mean, I'm late to this thing, so
that's okay. I think I can fill you up. I was basically giving our viewers a little bit of some of the newer teams that have joined, some of the teams that have left DCL this year, and then we were taking a look at the pool, the relative strength of the different pools, and I think I was giving my opinion on which pool I think is going to be the pool to look out for in terms of group of depth of sorts. So according to me, I think Group B is the one which I would be looking very closely.
Okay, so explain. Sorry to go over this again. Why do you say Group B? Because for me, Group C is the toughest pool.
I think the reason is I was looking at pool, and
I see GLCC and KRCC, and then who else is there? And Stars. There are three teams which are clearly ahead of everybody else, and then you will have Strikers and possibly SSK.
There's Patriots too. Patriots has always been.
But this Patriots is a different team. Am I correct, Satya? I mean, what happened to KK? I mean, KK probably knows better than everybody else who's playing there.
He is not joining because he is having some internet issues. So join next week onwards.
Okay. So the thing is that Patriots, if I'm not mistaken, they almost did not even put a team. That's what I was given to understand. And they have a mass influx of players from former FCC. Am I correct, Satya, or am I dreaming this up?
You mean, is it influx out of
FCC into Patriots?
Falcons. Huh? Falcons. It's Venkat and others are inside.
Yeah, no, but those Falcons players played for FCC last year.
Oh yeah.
Or am I dreaming that? Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I said a bunch of all those Falcons players have come to Patriots, but Patriots pretty much lost their best player, Sai Kiran Tota, if I'm not mistaken. So let's take a look at who's showing up on that Patriots list for us to even say that, okay, so, all right, are you seeing something which is...
Naresh, they lost.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I still see Sai Tota in here, but
yeah, he's apparently gone somewhere else, so he's not even playing. This is what I'm told. I mean, but for that matter of fact, if you went Parthiv to the Glads list, they have about 35 players. That includes me and Chetan. Chetan is in California and I'm in India. So right. I think just because a name shows up doesn't mean that person is playing. What I was given to understand is that, they almost didn't even have enough players to put a team, but then they got all these Falcons players from FCC.
Okay. So is that would you say is FCC? Is that FCC's loss?
Oh, that's FCC's huge loss, right? Because these are war-tested veterans, whether it is Srikanth or whether you have Vijay Matta or Venkat Vadnala and a whole bunch of those guys who know how to play, at least playoff cricket. Now you're telling me that, for me, Patriots is a Prumi team.
I think Matta is in Stars now.
Oh, Matta is in Stars now?
I think so.
Okay. So this is so that makes this Patriots team even more a big question mark for me. I mean, for me, Patriots doesn't even make the playoffs if unless Vednala and company can do some magical miracle kind of a thing.
Yeah, for me,
for me, there are three teams there, and then I would put Strikers in there, and then you have Detroit Bulls who did not make the playoffs, Hitmen who did not make the playoffs, Local Boys, which is a brand new team, so they have not made the playoffs, Patriots, as we have explained, Rising Stars, which have not made the playoffs, SLC Guardians, which is a brand new team, which again is doesn't have any of the star players from SLC Legends. In fact, they are trying to Guardians are trying to make players out of Lansing. That's what I was given to understand. I think SSK is a legitimate contender for making it into the playoffs, along with Strikers. So I would put SSK and Strikers in the same boat, and Stingers. Okay, well, this is another brand new team. So explain to me why this is a pool of death. I don't get it.
So my interpretation of Patriots was like they've got a lot of good players from SEC. So I was thinking the other way around, that Patriots is actually going to be a force to reckon with all the influx of former Falcon players, and that makes them a short into contention for the playoffs. The reason I said Group B is because I feel that there were a lot of relatively equal sized teams. Like Hitmen, yes, they didn't make the playoffs, but they were awfully close. Patriots, as I mentioned about Patriots, SSK is another team which I feel is on the rise, on the high. Last year I think they made the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe just missed out, either one of the two. But they definitely have been improving year over year. So between Strikers and Hitmen and Bulls, don't forget Bulls. I know,
yeah, I know, but the Bulls. My point is, I'm going based on last year's record, and they didn't make the playoffs. So until you make the playoffs, you really can't say that you are one of the top teams, the top 16 teams. That's my point. My point is, yes, I can find three teams which will, based on past record and not just last year, but years before that, will make it into the playoffs. But then I easily see a big advantage for Strikers and SSK there to round out the five, and then others will have to prove it. I mean, Guardians is a new team, so they'll have to prove it to us that they are really somebody. But as far as I'm concerned at this point of time, Parthiv, I think Patriots, if I had to borrow something, I would reverse the English saying and say that they are a sheep in wolf's clothing. not a wolf in sheep's clothing. I would say they are a sheep in wolf's clothing. So they have to prove it to me that they are a wolf. That right now, they're not a wolf. They are a sheep in wolf's clothing. So I don't know. But if you go to Pool C, I can show you a whole bunch of teams, all right? Detroit Titans. Now, mind you, this Detroit Titans is a good team because this is they got about 5 or 6 out of the KRCC players who were in the playing 11 who played in the the DCL final. And then on top of that, they added some cream players from Dynamites, and they added a bunch of players from somewhere else. So
absolutely,
I think they are definitely one of the better new teams of all the 5 or 6 new teams which you have added. I think this is probably one of the better new teams. Going back to that list, Satya, I mean, if I can go back to that list. Yeah, so then, Daria, you can leave them out for the time being. Dynamites, yes, they reached the semifinals, but right now we'll discuss Dynamites in detail when we go down this thing. Okay, you can put Glads in there. MCC Miles made the playoffs, so there's 2 teams which made the playoffs. Phantoms, brand new team, so forget about it. Pokeries made the playoffs. In fact, they reached the semis, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, last year. Safaris just missed the playoffs, but we ran into them in the indoor quarterfinal, I think, and they were a vastly improved team. Legends, they were number 2 in regular season last year. And Thunderbolts missed it. Troy Hawks made the playoffs. Didn't they reach the quarterfinals? So my point there is you have at least 5 teams which have reached the quarterfinals, and then you have a bunch of new teams, whether it is Titans or even Safaris, who has vastly improved, which makes this really every week you have to have your A game. And I remember telling Satya, well, you can't breeze through this round, so you better start recruiting some players who are going to be available for you every single week. So that's why we went out and did an all-out recruitment this year to get some more steady players on a week-in, week-out basis kind of a thing. But that's the reason why I said I think Pool C is probably the pool of death this year.
I see your point, but I still feel like I think Pool C, like apart from Detroit Titans, yes, I think Detroit Titans is definitely, but other teams I do not.
And mind you, Partho, I didn't even put Dynamites, which reached the semifinals. I didn't even put Dynamites, and with that, I counted 5. But yes, I and you agree that based on the new reality, Dynamites are not the Dynamites what they were last year. So I agree with
they would be a complete swap. Detroit Titans would swap Dynamites, so they take their place easily.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think so let's start off with our matchups for this week, and then we can through the matchups I think we can also talk about the relative strengths, the squad, all the controversy surrounding some of those teams. So let's go through that.
It's just prediction. It's a 0 this time. So, but Green Sampling is sponsoring the predictions again.
And just to reiterate, I'm the defending champion there, right?
Yeah. That's right. You're the defending champion, and we are coming for your crown.
Yeah.
All right. So the first game, MI Rangers versus FCC. I've gone with MI Rangers. I think the reason is 2 reasons. One, I think we talked about FCC losing a lot of the players, and there's a shift in the leadership as well. Nishant is captaining this year, brand new captain, losing a lot of players. So last year itself was a kind of a change for them, with Wadanala coming in straight away to lead the side, and there was going to be some time to kind of settle the players. But now again, this change is going to again push it even longer. And on Rangers side, I think they have a couple of really good players. They have Anush, and then I forget the star player, Abhilash. Yes, Abhilash. Yes, their star player Abhilash. I think those 2 players, especially Anush, I think last year he had a really good season. He was a standout performer for Rangers, and I saw him in the Spring Cup as well. He looks fit and mean, and striking the ball really long. I do feel like those two guys are going to make the difference in this game. So, MI Rangers for me.
So KK, he's selected Rangers too. So I'll just push him to Rangers. So okay, I'll do that. Okay, I selected FCC. So they have a lot of good players. I know Rangers have good players too, but FCC have like Teju, Tejas. If everybody shows up, that's a really good team. Mahendra has to show up. Nishant is
Okay.
there. Abu.
Let me stop you right there. You say they have so many good players. First of all, you just listed Tejas, and as far as I know, Tejas is playing for GLCC. So either the guy who's sitting 10,000 miles away knows something which you don't know, or what in the world is going on here? I think we need to get to the bottom of this. As far as I know, Tejas is listed on the GLCC list, and I don't see him listed on the FCC list. Last year, if you had paid attention to what Tejas said when he came on our show, he already gave you a hint last year when he was on our show. He said that this year, if FCC doesn't go the way he thinks it should go, then he was going to go to some place which will give him an opportunity to play for a championship. And I think that's exactly what he did. He telegraphed the move 1 year earlier when he came on the show, and he basically told us that, hey, I've been loyal to FCC for some time. I'm just paraphrasing what he said, all right? This is not exactly his words, but I'm paraphrasing the gist and content of it. You can go back and look at that show, and you'll see that he telegraphed this move 1 year ago. And if I'm not mistaken, he has gone to GLCC. As far as I'm concerned, FCC, I don't know what they have. They are once again in this prove me state for me, wherein they have to prove to me a few bunch of things. And right now, they have proved to me zippo, zilch, squat, nothing. All right. So I'm not ready. I'm not ready to give FCC the pass on this one. Yeah, Vamsi Tulsi is my good friend, and I like Pana, and I like a bunch of other guys there. But hey, this is a talk show, and here we are to talk the truth, and here we are to talk in things exactly as I see it. And as I see it, I'm sorry, Nishant Shivkumar might be the skipper of FCC, but he is really in a real prove me state for me. He has to prove to me that he has got something. And now he's in a good pool. So that's a plus point. But at this point...
And I think another one which I saw, which caught my attention, was Abhilash is also listed on both sides. FCC has him listed, and so has Rangers. So I'm not sure as to which way is he going, or if it's the same Abhilash, because I see two profiles there.
The other thing is, just now Vamsi KK just texted saying that for information received that Mahendra is playing for Legends and not for FCC. That makes FCC even more susceptible. All right. At this point, what is that?
I'll change it, don't worry.
No, you can't change it, buddy. You're done. You already. This is a cutthroat business. You get my point? I mean, just because I did Hold it. You are sitting in Detroit, and I'm sitting 10,000 miles away. If anybody has a disadvantage, it is me. You three guys have a significant advantage over me, all right? I do not know what is going on. The only difference between you guys and me is I sit and go through all the squads and look at all the publicly available information, and if somebody shares something. But anyway, if Mahendra is also not playing, oh my goodness, I don't even know what Vamsi has on the cards.
Pana said he's not yet decided where to play also, so we don't know.
This gets better. This gets better by the minute. I'm listing Pana as this corner piece of FCC, and you're saying Pana is also not playing. Oh goodness! Take FCC and put it into the dustbin at this point. That's it.
Yeah,
guys.
I think we can all agree that FCC is definitely going to be on
the... Go to the next game.
Oh no! Not yet. Here is why I think Rangers is going to win. I'm going to give you a name, Parthan. You are sitting there. Let me give you a name. Not Abhilash, not Anush, and who is their other very good player? I forgot his name is missing. What's that again? Ifti. Yeah, all right. Those three are good players. They have been carrying that team for n number of years. You get my point? And if you ask me, Abhilash is a guy I will take eyes closed. He's that good. He can bat, he can bowl, he can do all kinds of things. There's nothing the guy can't do. He's an exceptional player. But I feel the guy who is going to shock DCL, take this from me, Partha. Write the name down. Write the name down. The name is Sandeep Bandi. Bandi. This guy is going to rock DCL. I'll tell you why. Because I saw one game and it was an indoor. I happen to, I'm a cricket aficionado and I like to go and watch things. And I saw that guy bowl. An exceptional fast bowler. I would take him eyes closed. And I would put him in this thing because he is a top-class bowler. Raza Ali better watch out. This guy is going to come after Raza Ali's record haul of wickets or whoever is in the top 3. Those guys better watch out because Sandeep Bandi, if he plays 12 games, he is going to be in that running for the best bowler in DCL. He's probably going to be top 3 or top 5. He will get you wickets by the bunches. He has great pace, exceptional line and length, and the best thing I like about him, he hardly gives any wides. I love guys who don't give wides. And this guy is an exceptional thing. I would say take him eyes closed. I don't know how these guys got him, but he is a fantastic player. He is a fantastic bowler. Write it down. Sandeep Bandi is going to rock DCL. I am happy. Michigan Rangers is not in Pool C. That's all I can say. But Rangers for me, for all these reasons.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. I will write it down for sure. All right. Next game, I think we have Sterling Strikers and Knights. I think this is going to be a straight, it's a no-brainer. Sterling Strikers is now even stronger than what it was last year with stars from Brownstown. I see Rashid, our good old friend Rashid there in the squad, Mansab Bhatt, and
you saw Rashid in the squad. I was looking to find Rashid. In fact, I was going to ask Rashid to play for Glads. I didn't see him on the list. I didn't even see Mansab on the list.
Oh, so this might be this might be something information which I have in the committee. Because
no. I know Mansab. I know Mansab is playing there, and I know Jawad is playing there, and I also heard my good friend Rashid has also joined them. You get my point?
Yep.
But you don't see Rashid on this list. But I heard Rashid has joined them. But I told Satya to call Rashid and ask him to play for Glads. Rashid might be watching this and saying, man, why didn't you tell this to me before? But my good friend Satya is very slow. That's the problem. He only talked to Imran. I told him, man, get Rashid just for his cricketing brain. You should get him because he's that good a cricketing brain, actually.
Yep. Yeah, so as I conclude, Sterling Strikers have got a lot of great talent this year, and I have an outside bet they might go all the way. It's basically, they have the strength of Brownstown, plus they had some really good players even before they started with. So an outside dark horse to go all the way.
Well, I think Sterling Strikers is an excellent team. I think this time around, they have added a whole bunch of pieces. And I think their biggest problem is going to be how are they going to find the 11, in the sense that they probably have 16, 18, 20 players, and all of them, at least 15 of them deserves to be in the playing 11 or playing 12. How is it going to work out? What happens to some of these stalwarts? How are they going to deal with it? Because I can read off a list of players who automatically walk into the playing 11, whether it is Raza Ali or whether it is Mansab Bhatt or Jawad Zahir or and I think even Syed, who played for Glads before, but he's an exceptional player. But there are a bunch of players on Sterling Strikers. Like you, I think they're not even the dark horses as far as I'm concerned. They're the real horses, all right? These guys are pure thoroughbreds. This is a team which I have a lot of respect for their talent. And I think on this show, I need to give out a shout out to Ehsan Ansari. He formed FHCC, and then they went through a whole bunch of turmoil and things like that. It didn't reach to this thing, but this time around, I think he's still the skipper. Maybe he's not, and maybe they give it to Jawad. I'm not sure. But let's give him the credit because he has managed to persevere. Guy's a solid bloke and a very decent guy to deal with. And I feel that he has got the cooking magic right this time. And I think Sterling Strikers is going to be a tough out for anybody in the playoffs. So this is a solid thing. I have no hesitation in giving this game to Sterling Strikers. Of course, I know nothing about Knights.
Yep, Knights is a brand new team, so very little information we have. They haven't got the squad ready or anything, so there's little to go off from.
There is a request from Vijay Shanmugam to add him to this thing when the Dynamites topic comes up. So maybe Vijay Shanmugam, since you're listening, you should probably join in. And then whenever the Dynamites topic comes up, it's going to be a cracker because I have some choice words for Vijay Shanmugam and he's my good friend. But today he's going to hear the brunt of it. He's going to take some stick and cane from me. So he better bet on the show because at least he'll have a chance to defend himself. But I am ready to take Vijay Shanmugam to the cleaners and to the task. But yes, he's more than welcome to join the show. Satya, if you can forward, I don't know where, I'll try to forward whatever you sent me. Yeah, but it's asking us to sign in. We never had this issue last year. Something is wrong because I join in on my church Zoom meeting and I just enter the password. I don't have to sign in anywhere.
Maybe some settings.
There is some setting which is off, and this is a tough way to join. Let me tell you that. So Satya, I think you need to fix this, but this is not the way to join. I'll tell you that much.
I'll check that. I don't know what happened different, but
okay. Yeah, I think then we can go to the next game. The next game is GLCC Rising Stars. This is another one which I think should be straightforward. But talking about GLCC, we talked about Tejas being one of the ads, but they've also kind of benefited from Punjab Warriors not being there, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other teams have benefited as well. Getting some of the Punjab Warriors. I see it glads a couple of names as well. So, but I think earlier, I think last year when I was doing the commentary in the finals, it was actually a different tune or different theme which I was hearing. I heard from Vaibhav that they were actually going to form a stronger Punjab Warriors unit in DCL this year, which I think probably didn't work out. And so Vaibhav and Navpreet and Manpreet and all those guys are still in GLCC, and they're probably adding more from Punjab Warriors team as well. So definitely GLCC is strengthening their squad, and just like every year, they definitely are a team to reckon with. This should be an easy start for them, and I'm jealous of those teams who get this easy start, because I think it's always good to start with a little bit of momentum, because your arms are sore, your eyes are not there yet, and if you have a easy opponent or relatively easy opponent, a little bit of an off day can still be okay. But if you have a first up, if you're playing like KRCC or someone, you don't have the liberty or the flexibility to do that. So GLCC would appreciate this encounter, an easy one to get their train running.
So I go with GLCC, so it's no brainer. So Vijay?
Same thing with GLCC. This is a no-brainer. They have just really, really strengthened their team. They added the cream of Punjab Warriors. They are the biggest beneficiary of Punjab Warriors disintegrating. And I think once again, it shows you the difference between professional management and so-so management, average management. I think Punjab Warriors had some good players, but their management skills probably is greatly lacking. And the fact that GLCC pounced in and got the cream of the players, and look at the way they have added Tejas Shantegowda. They have added a whole, and they managed to. There was all these Karnataka players who wanted to play under Nishant or under the Karnataka banner or whatever it is. All these things I heard, but guess what? They didn't lose Hemant Chaluvaiya. They didn't lose Sandeep Gopinath. They didn't lose any of these guys, and so they managed to get all the players, with the exception of Satish Tyagi, who has shifted to KRCC. I think they have retained their entire unit and added a whole bunch of these things. This makes them a solid top 4 contender, if you ask me. So, no brainer. Rising stars, once again, are the sinking stars. Sorry to say that.
All right. Strikers, Patriots, obviously, being the Strikers captain leading this year as well, I would definitely rate Strikers. If we can continue our form from last year, we've had a few recruits ourselves. So hopefully those come through and we are able to kind of form a better unit, especially I think the gap which was there, which we had last year in our bowling side, have tried to fill that gap. And knowing Patriots and knowing, the uncertainty, that's the one thing that worries me. Which 11 or which 12 are going to show up that day. I'm still trying to figure that out. The DCL website, the squad doesn't give me much more than what everybody knows about. But about this Vadnala and company joining, whether they're joining, who's going to play, all those things are still uncertain. But I'm confident that we should get past through Patriots.
So, Parthiv, how many you added? Who are they?
We've added I think four players. We've got three from FCC Agni, the Patel company. We've got Amit Patel. Amit Patel is from Glad. Sorry.
Yes.
I associated with them because they are all kind of friends. We've got Ishan from KRCC. We've got Deepak from FCC Agni.
FC Agni. Okay.
Yep, and then Kritesh was another one from FCC Agni.
So basically, the Patel gang has joined together and come under Mr. Mehta. So, by the way, Partha, who's leading Strikers this year?
I am leading Strikers this year as well.
Okay, all right.
And then I think one big name, getting someone from the grave kind of back into DCL.
Is that Tushar Samant?
No, we've got Krishna Berry joining us.
Oh, Krishna Berry is joining you guys. He was a former GLCC player, so I'm surprised he didn't go back to GLCC.
Yes, it was years of perseverance, years of. So just like Binod, we have Krishna and Binod now. That the old grapevine. The magic there.
Okay, well, solid players, solid additions. Good for you, Parthiv. Again, for me, Patriots is a premiums team, and in the stock market, you pick stocks, and you have can't miss stocks, and then you have these stocks which nobody knows anything about. And right now, Patriots is in this stocks which nobody knows anything about. So I'll pick the Strikers stock, which I know something about, and I know that they play well as a unit. So Strikers for me.
I go with Strikers. I also don't know what Patriots bringing to the table, so I go with Strikers. So I think KK also selected Strikers.
We are not able to move KK. I mean, has he become that unmovable? I mean,
I removed his background and I did not place him back properly. So I could not able. So I
thought as soon as, even without joining the show, I thought he's going about making a name for himself.
Yeah. So it's Detroit Titans versus Miles.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game if MCC Miles starts off well, and especially my long short bet, which I've always mentioned about Sanjay and Rahul. Those guys are going to be definitely the ones who are going to be the key to kind of give a strong response to Detroit Titans. I do feel Detroit Titans have the players, experienced. The cream of KRCC pretty much has been in Detroit Titans, led by a player who's been in DCL, and he was in the top 3 bowling. Satish Gaba is a very underrated bowler, but he's been always in the top So I do feel Detroit Titans should get the better of MCC Miles, but I would be watching if I was watching a game apart from my own. This is the game I would be watching.
Yeah, Parthiv, I think this is going to be an excellent game. This is a game of two evenly matched teams. Yes, MCC Miles made the playoffs last year, but again, I think Detroit Titans is a very good team. And again, Gaba is an excellent player, but I think what I like about Gaba more than his abilities as a cricketer is his brain power with regards to his skill in understanding the game and figuring out what to do. Also, he's a good man manager. And I believe that last year, KRCC had a number of games where, getting 11 on the field was a tough choice, or tough out. And Gaba pulled it out. And so I think KRCC is going to miss those skill set this year. But this guy is an excellent manager, and he's going to only lead that team in the upward direction. So I'm going to go with Detroit Titans on this one because Miles lost a couple of players to Pokeries. That's what I was told. Arvind Sabarish and one other player. And I also see one Venkat Govindarajan. I thought he was a Dynamites player, but he's also now in Pokeries camp. So this tells me the strong have got stronger. Somehow Miles make great strides, and then somehow they lose some of their critical players or some key players, not necessarily the core, but some of this outer core, which they seem to build up, only to find that, somebody else takes them away. So that I remember this Arvind Sabarish last year, he played against Glads, that game which Rahul Chenna had an unbelievable innings. He's the guy who gave Chenna the partnership there. So he's a very good player. So good bowler, good batsman. I think it's a great ad for Pokeries. Same thing if the Venkat Govindarajan is the Govindarajan from Dynamites. He's another good player, good all-rounder. So I think I'm going to go with Titans on this one.
Yeah, I'm going with Titans. It's only KK who selected Miles. So we'll ask him next time when we are analyzing. So
I think we did this, right?
Oh, I think we did. I think I missed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This should be another easy one on paper at least, because we don't know Detroit Badshahs of what their squad and their strength.
They have they have one player listed, Alishan Ibaidat. And I saw a whole bunch of Ibidats are playing on Sterling strikers. So unless there is something missing, but Alishan has like 5 or 6 brother. I find all of them Ibidats. I find it very difficult to believe that all those Ibidats would have abandoned Alishan and jumped into Sterling strikers. My feeling is they are all going to come into the Badshah. So you should not be surprised if you see like 6 Ibidats in the Detroit Badshahs team. All right, I'm telling you right now. And our friend Satya has a problem with spellings because he's made it Detroit T Badshah. So,
oh yeah, typo.
So see, I just want to create it, so I messed up this slide. Next year will be better. So
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, this should be an easy game for Raptors. Again, just going by assumption that Detroit Badshah is the B team for Sterling strikers and should be, of relatively low strength. United Raptors should get it. Now, the next time we have Pradeep Bota on the call, I would love to know why United. Was it what's the reason behind United?
Parthiv, these Raptor guys keep amazing me, all right? These Raptor guys keep running circles around my head. Let me tell you that. Because can you recall the number of name changes they have done? This is a Venkat Adappa speciality, all right? They were Spiders. Then they became, I don't know, RBCC, Royal Blues Cricket Club. Before Royal Blues, it was Royal Cricket Club or something like that. Then they made it Royal Blues Cricket Club. And then it was something else in between. And then they made it, what is that? Before it was Raptors, it was something else. And now you're telling me it is United Raptors? Are you telling me this was a disunited bunch of guys up till now? And then this year, so all of a sudden they became united together. And all these years they were like a disjointed, disgruntled, disunited bunch of guys? That's what you're telling me right now when you say that you're United Raptors. I don't get it, Parthiv. I don't get it. And if I don't get it, I tell it exactly. I wanted to ask you, because you were a Raptor skipper, how in the world did this become United Raptors?
I have no.
Hari Paramkusam has joined us. I want to ask Paramkusam, do you know all the other names of these RBCC guys, the Raptors? They were, I don't know, something else before that. And it stuns me. It stuns me. How can you have so many name changes?
I think my go ahead, sorry, Hari. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. No, Viju, hi, how are you?
I'm pretty good, Hari. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing good, thank you. Good to see you too.
You're looking like a Don, baby. You're looking like a Don, brother.
My sneaky feeling was that United Raptors might be a that numerology or some Vastu or some sort of that kind of a thing. That's my sneaky feeling. I think that's one of the things that they feel like Raptors was jinxed for some reason, and they wanted to kind of add some sort of a way to kind of differentiate that and make it like a new brand. That's my feeling.
All right.
Yeah,
my only concern with these Raptors is their names. I don't have any problem with their abilities or their players. Their players are exceptional players. In fact, we ran into them in the semi-finals of the indoor, and we got thrashed. So if we got thrashed, I should say that we got thrashed. We scored, I don't know, what was that, 135, 140 in indoor 20. And I thought that was good enough. But they have a guy named Gagan Singh, and that guy played exceptional. All right. So mark another name, Parthiv. Gagan Singh. This guy is an exceptional batsman, fantastic player. And Amar was Amar. So he was exceptional again. And so I feel that Raptors, United Raptors, disunited Raptors, whatever it is, these guys know how to play. I am only concerned that the DCL record might fall if United Raptors bat first. All right. So you heard it first from me that Detroit Badshahs, if they win the toss, they need to bat first so that the record of Glads can stay intact. Otherwise, I see that record falling.
Yeah, I go with Raptors too. So we do Raptors, and KK also goes for Raptors. So next, Dynamites Panthers.
My friend Vijay Shanmugam. All right, let's continue. Go ahead.
Happy you are mute.
I see a number joining. Is that Vijay or is that somebody else?
I don't know. Vijay is always very confused. Let me tell you that.
All right, we'll go about. I don't know who's joined, but there is a number who's on the call. Yes, on this, Vijay will be very, very happy with the first game that he has against Phantoms. I think definitely for any team that has lost a lot of players, coming up with a relatively easy game is what you'll probably want. So this should be an easy one for Dynamites. Phantoms are still relatively new. They haven't got a lot of talent to challenge Dynamites. But as we have talked about in the show previously, Dynamites are going to really struggle with the loss of talent that they have, and the players that they have right now. I don't see them kind of replicating their performance last year when they reached the semis. So Dynamites for this game at least.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh my God, Biju is gone somewhere. I'm pretty sure he's got something which he's gonna do.
Parthiv, I'm drinking mango milkshake. All right. I went to get it from the fridge because I have Vijay Shanmugam. I don't know where that Vijay Shanmugam is. All right. Let me tell you a real story, Parthiv. This is a real story. All right. We are talking about the Dynamites loot. Dynamites reached the semi-final. And guess which team has been decimated more than any other team in DCL? It is Dynamites. about 5 or 6 of their cream players have gone to Detroit Titans. And of course, Vijay Shanmugam was very upset about it because he found out much later that these people are all, boom, gone. They have already made an understanding with our good friend Satish Gaba, and they are playing for Detroit Titans. And they said, Tata, bye-bye to Vijay Shanmugam. Now Vijay Shanmugam doesn't have enough players. He's calling me, telling me, Vijay, if you have any players, let me know so that they can come and play for Dynamites. I said,
Hello.
all right, if there is...
Hello.
Yeah,
There he is.
yeah, but, he's calling me saying that, I would like to, I said, if I know of any players which we can't use, we'll certainly send it their way. All right. Now, here is a new story, all right? Parthiv, this is exactly how it happened. Suddenly, Arjun Achbani texts Satya and me and says that there's a gentleman by the name of Dwanit Patel. And the name doesn't ring a bell to me. I don't know Dwanit Patel from Adam. So I'm like, okay, who is he? And so he said, no, he's a friend of mine. I mean, he's a pretty decent player. He asked whether we have any openings and whether we can add him to our team. So
Yeah.
I then get
you can add him to your team. He came to my house and
so let me Vijay, we'll get back to you. Let me explain the story. So I let Dwanit know how we run Glads and how we make our decisions and what and one of the things which I wanted to know was if he was a team player and things like that. And I went through the whole kit and caboodle as to how we make our decisions and what we look for in a player and all those things. All right, no promises, but if you perform, the sky is the limit kind of a thing. And so we go through all that, and then he was fine with everything. And then Vijay Shanmugam is my good friend, and I felt, man, it's not right on my part if I don't tell Vijay Shanmugam. So even before Dwanit tells Vijay Shanmugam, I tell Vijay Shanmugam, hey, Vijay, this is what happened. He had already decided that he's not playing for Dynamites anymore. He's going to be playing for some team other than Dynamites, and he wanted to play for Glads. He approached Glads first, and we said, okay, we can use him. And so there ends the story. But I'm just letting you know out of courtesy, because one of the few guys in DCL who I really have a lot of friendship off the field is with Vijay Shanmugam. Even after coming to India, I mean, we talk periodically and things like that. So I mentioned it to him. And then Vijay Shanmugam was, okay, that's what happened. But then Vijay Shanmugam told me a story. So Parthiv, here's the real story. Dwanit and one other gentleman who was playing for Dynamites went to Vijay Shanmugam's house, and they are having a booze session. And while they are having a booze session, there's an argument which breaks between Dwanit and this other gentleman, all right? And Vijay is busy trying to put his kids to sleep or whatever it was. Vijay is not even involved, but by the time he comes, World War III has broken out in his living room over the war in Ukraine. This is where it gets really interesting. Over the war in Ukraine, the two gentlemen had a huge argument, and Dwanit decided, I'm not playing for Dynamites anymore. This is what Vijay Shanmugam conveyed to me. I did not ask Dwanit if all these things happen, because remember, I don't even know the person, right? So the thing is that this is what happened. And so people go to Vijay Shanmugam's house to have a booze session, and they end up playing Dynamites. I don't know what else to say. Now, remember this mango milkshake. Parthiv, just imagine you are having another mango milkshake, all right? And I have a straw here, all right? You can see the straw, right? And you also have a straw. But if my straw can reach 10,000 miles and dip into your mango milkshake, guess what, Parthiv? I am drinking your mango milkshake. I am drinking your mango milkshake. That's exactly what is happening here. People are drinking the mango milkshake of Vijay Shanmugam and the Dynamites, all right? They are reaching all across and putting their straw into the Dynamites team. And the next thing you know, the Dynamites team has lost a whole bunch of players. Whether it was Dwanit or this 5 or 6 players who went to Titans, and a couple of other players who went to pokeries, whatever it is, this is what is happening. And so it's good to have Vijay Shanmugam, and maybe he can
I would love to.
tell
Yeah,
us
I would
what's
love
going
to
on.
hear from the horse's mouth as to how this math sort of happened.
Yeah, Biju, I mean, I think you're kind of like exaggerating a lot of things, but let me tell that, right? Like, I mean, the fact is, yes, we lost a lot of players, right? And for me, it is like, people come and go in the team. If they belong in a team, they will support the team. But if people come in and say, hey, you know what, I want to have an opportunity to play somewhere else, I want to play for a team that is going to win this year. Everybody wants to win. I mean, I totally agree to that. Even Parthu agrees, Satya agrees. We all want to win, be a part of a winning culture. And for me, it is like when somebody leaves, it's something, it has to be mutual. Something has to be told, right? So for me, it didn't happen. So I was a little frustrated, right? Like I'm like a guy like who, kind of want to do something good for Dynamites and cricket here. That's why I've been here for so long. So that didn't happen. So I'm like, I just got frustrated for a couple of weeks. I was like, man, you guys should have told, like these guys are like old enough to tell somebody. We are not 25, 26 years old to just leave a team and, tell them the last minute, hey, here, I'm leaving your team. So, but, reality, right? Reality, we have to accept the reality. And I said like, no, I just have to do a better job to, do a culture of making this as a habit for everybody to at least tell beforehand when they leave. And that gives me a sense of purpose why I'm leading a team. So, yeah, I learned my lessons, and hopefully we got some new recruits, exciting recruits. Again, the end is like we don't want to be like a superstar team. We want to be a team that we can cherish on the moments, win or lose. We want to have those moments, right? Because that's what you bring to your home. Because when you win, you'll be happy. You come to your kids and you're happy. When you lose, you have to have the same atmosphere in your team that, hey, we lost, but we competed. And that's kind of guys I'm bringing into the team here who just don't have that extreme things. And then, so we got some new recruits, and I'm excited, this season. We have the toughest pool, but, we kind of, did some good things last year. We are going to continue those things this year. We have continuity. That's the thing. I mean, we lost a couple of players, but that doesn't matter. We put them in a good spot for them to excel, but we are going to have some role players more to excel this year. We didn't use a lot of players last year. We got some new players this year, and it's going to be a dynamite again.
Vijay, last year you were lucky, I would say. You guys.
That's what my players.
We gave the game to you.
No. That's what my players said. Like when they left, hey, Vijay, I'm leaving because Dynamites was lucky. So I just want to say that, okay, everybody, luck is favor of who is the better person. So we want to challenge that status quo, right? I mean, we've been unlucky for so many years, right? We lose by one point as we just.
I was just kidding. I was just remembering, how we lost.
No. Right. So many times when we say like you're lucky, I don't believe in luck. I mean, I believe in luck, but at the same time, you have to put the. There's so much effort going behind any team, right? Parthu, you know that. You know that.
Right.
It's not easy to form a team and maintain a team. So yeah, we will do our best, but we may surprise a lot of teams.
Cool. Okay. Thank you so much, Vijay, for, we wish you all the best, and, it's going to be another restructuring on your part. So we'll be eager to see the new recruits. So thank you for chiming in. Let's move on to the next
Vijay,
game.
Vijay,
Yeah.
just a question. How come we couldn't see your video? We were allowed to see your video.
Oh, well, this Zoom thing, whatever, I'm going to text Satya after this. I tried on my computer. So
So
I
it's
just,
not all right. So Satya, this
He,
is
he,
not
does,
a problem
he doesn't
just of
want
me.
he doesn't want to let you know what he's drinking so that you cannot
No,
taste it. Yes, again.
no, last time it was like no. I would love to be on the video, but last time it was like one click and I'm on the video, right? This time I tried like 3 different phones. It didn't come up. So maybe the links are like disarranged. Satya, maybe look up on that.
Check on those guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Next game is Indus Thunders. So I know we talked a lot about how teams have lost players. Canton 11 is another team which has lost a lot of players. Not just this year. Over a period of time, it kind of is a team which incubates a lot of talent, and then gradually, someone or the other finds them. Like Raza Ali is one of them. Haider Bhatti is another one. I think this year, their left arm bowler has left them. What's his name? I forget it.
Shivam.
Shivam.
Yes.
Shivam.
And obviously,
Yeah,
you guys are
guess what, Parthiv? Graz is the recipient of that.
Yep. I was just going to say you guys are the beneficiary part of them. But I feel like Canton 11 have always been a decent unit. They've had some really good players, but somehow they've not been able to manage these players, either their expectation or haven't been able to stitch the unit together to get it competitive to reach the playoffs regularly. So in this game, obviously it's going to be a no-brainer. Is the champions against Canton 11? I would go with Indus Thunders, but I do feel for Canton 11ers. I think they could have, if they had retained all this talent, they could have been, a serious team to reckon with.
All I can say, Parthiv, is that Canton 11 has a skipper in Javed. He's a fantastic bloke off the field. I really like the guy. I think he's a class act, both on and off the field. Sometimes nice guys finish last, and it's just a fact in life. We happen to see that often. But having said that, Canton 11 does everything which you have to admire. I think I admire Javed for the way he goes about. He's a genuine person, and yes, he has a bunch of players, but they probably are not at the elite level. They are trying to get to the next level, but the problem has been that sometimes players may not necessarily have the patience to wait till then, because they see that, okay, I can go to some other team and try to achieve my goal. And I think that's exactly what happened with Tejas Shantegowda. He went to GLCC, and we did not think we can get Shivam or anything like that. I at least did not have any such dreams. But when you get a player of that caliber, you have to take that player, especially when your bowling is a little susceptible like the Glad's bowling is. So, yeah. But in this game, Indus Thunders all the way.
I'll go with Indus Thunders, and KK also went with Indus Thunders. So, Triox Legends.
By the way, quick question, Parthiv. Is Indus Thunders?
Yeah, they have
halfway there to they are halfway there to the megabytes 4-peat. Can Thunders do it? 4-peat. I didn't say a 3-peat. I said a 4-peat.
4-peat. So this will be the third, right?
This is two in a row they have won, right? So clearly the best team in DCL. They have won 3 out of the last 4 years or 5 years or whatever it is, and so they have a very good unit this year again. All of a sudden, they look like they are in the form of creating a dynasty. So I just was curious, both you and Hari, what do you guys think? Clearly the team to beat.
Yeah, clearly the team to beat, but doing a 4-peat 4 consecutive years would be tough. I don't see that happening. I think either this year or the next year, I think someone will basically stop their run. I mean, this year too. I mean, they were close. Jasmeet almost got KRCC through. So I don't see the four-peat repeating, but yes, the legacy and I think a champion team, I think they will definitely win more trophies, but maybe not like 4 consecutive ones like Megabytes did. So I would not expect them to go all the way like rolling because I think a lot of teams are there now, which are in the race. Hari himself, I would think he would put his hat in that, right?
No, like regarding the Indus Thunders, even I agree with Parthiv. I think even third time it's very hard because there are many teams which I knew that I think which I heard that there are a lot of people shifted from different teams to like GLCC, even like Shivam joining Glads. That's a very good move. So it's very hard to say now. It's too early, I guess. I know Indus is definitely a great team. They have all good resources. They have all good team and they play as a unit. But it's too early to say that it's going to win the third time. I doubt it for this year at least.
And then they have a change in guard also this year. So it's going to be Srikanth who's going to lead this year. So we'll have to see how players respond to him.
Yeah, definitely it's a great team to beat, but we don't know. Like because I heard GLCC is also getting strong with all the new additions. So and the Glads. So let's see how it goes. But it's too early, I guess.
But my point, Parthiv and Hari, is let's hope that Srikanth Yeruva does not do what Ravichandra Jadeja did after Dhoni had such an exceptional run, and then Jadeja came in and he thought he can get the job done, but then realized, what? I just hope for Srikanth Yeruva's sake that he doesn't do Ravichandra Jadeja.
Yeah.
Because when things goes wrong, all of a sudden they're going to blame it on the captain, you see. And I just don't want that to be the case.
Makes sense. All right, back to this game. Back to this game, I think this should be Legends game. Troy Hawks, yes, they were very competitive last year. They reached the playoffs, I think the quarterfinals. So they have the talent and they should be able to give a good game out of this. But I do feel Legends have quite a bit of strength to get past Troy Hawks here. But a good game nevertheless.
I would like to add Legends. Yeah, definitely they have very good people. They have very good units like Harish is there, Narne is there, and Satish by himself. Praveen Arikatla. They have very good bowling and batting unit. But the thing is, Troy Hawks, what I heard is they have got, I think Kaushik is going to lead the team this year. And they have also added some new guys. So we have to see how they perform. So it's going to be a good game.
Hari, when you say Kaushik, are you talking about Kaushik Chapidi?
Yeah, right.
That guy is a fantastic bowler. I saw him indoor, right?
Yes,
I was very impressed
player
with his bowling. I mean, when you look at him, you don't think he can bowl that. But when he comes and bowls, it's a mean ball. I was very impressed with the ball which he delivered. So, go ahead.
They have also added a couple of new guys. I don't know the names, but they have added a couple of good guys in the team. Okay. And he's leading by himself. So probably it might be a good game against Legends.
So that means Santosh is taking a back seat?
Yes.
Okay. But even with all that, I'm still going to go with Bellamakunda and my friend Bellamakunda and the Legends. That reminds me, where is Vamsi KK playing? The man is not on the show. Otherwise, I was going to ask him point blank. Where is he playing? I see his brother is mentioned on the SLC's Legends
Guardians
roster, but
Legends.
I thought it was on the Legends list. I mean, maybe one of you guys can pull it up, but I don't see KK on the list. And that the $1 million question is, where in the world is KK playing? He's not here on the call, so otherwise I would have asked him point blank.
Maybe Glads.
No. I mean, I never got any feeler from Satya or from KK. So my feeling is he was going to some high-profile team, but I do not know which high-profile team. So that's why I was asking that question.
He said he's not decided. That's it, because he's not in town until like late June or something. So he has to decide. That's it. I know. So I'll go with Legends. I know Troyals have a lot of people they added, and they have been in playoffs last year, but they have to prove once again with this team. If they prove yes, Troyals would be a better team for the next. But this time I'm going with Legends. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's before
All right.
last one game.
Yeah, earlier, last year, I think we would have called this a battle of the basement, but no longer. I think Safaris have definitely pulled up their soxes, pulled up a lot of good talent. They have our golden boy in last year, which surprised everyone and rightfully earned the emerging player of the year for 2021. So dark horses again, they are exactly living up to their name. They I don't think they've ever come up outside their shadow of being dark horses. It's been years and years and years, and I don't see them getting to a point where you feel like earlier. I think maybe a 5 or 6 years ago, or 10 years ago, or maybe 8, 7 years ago, they had a team, and then it slowly disintegrated and never really built up. So this should be an easy game for Safaris. Dark horses are still dark horses this year as well.
Parthiv, quick question: is this game taking place on Saturday or Sunday?
All the games on Saturday.
This week is all Saturdays.
I know, but they had requested put in a request because Dark Horses did not have players for Saturday.
Yeah. We haven't. We had to decline the request because we do not entertain any schedule changes.
No, that's what I thought. But then again, I was not sure whether the rules changed this year. You get my point? I mean, until last year, it was that no games will be rescheduled.
Yep.
So if that is the case, then Dark Horses may not even show up, because if these guys are in India or whatever it is, then you might not even have a game.
It was only Pankaj. I think his availability was a question mark, and he basically is the person who rallies the team and gets the team going. All of these guys are like same office, and that kind of a culture.
So all right, let me give you my opinion on Safaris. All right, Safaris is one of the most improved teams. I think you should give a lot of credit to Venkat Kolla, their skipper. He seems to be an older gentleman, at least based on the photos that I have seen. All right. But I have to respect his ability to continue to persevere. And he has really turned this team around. I know that Glad's played Safaris in the quarterfinals of Indore. And, one of my teammates told me that he had met the Safaris, and before the game, they were telling, we are going to beat Glads. We are going to beat Glads. So when that was relayed to me, my first response was, well, there are people who get into the ring with Mike Tyson and say, we're going to beat Mike Tyson. We're going to beat Mike Tyson. We're going to beat him into a pulp. But then when they get into the ring and they get one punch from Mike Tyson, and then the next thing they are flat on the ground. And then after the press conference, they say, you know what? We didn't realize Mike Tyson's punch was that powerful. So I said, that's probably is going to be a game like that, wherein we're going to give them the punch and they'll probably not see it. But when we played the game, I found that, yes, we won, but the game was much closer than I expected. Yeah. So what I walked away from that game was they had some very good pieces. Of course, we all talked about Golden Rithini last year. I made Mr. Golden Rithini. Until then he was Swarna Rahul Rithini, and now we made him Golden Rithini. He is an exceptional player. So let's give him credit for that. He can bat, he can bowl, he can field well. He's an exceptional character, at least on the field. I do not know him off the field. But it's not just Swarna Rahul Rithini. They have a few other pieces which I walked away very impressed. In fact, if Glads plays Safaris again, if we don't have our best team, I wouldn't bet on Glads winning that game. So I changed my opinion after watching it, and that's why I'm saying, hey, let's try to understand this team has improved a lot. This team is significantly better than the team which was there 2 years back or 3 years back, which did not win a single game in DCL. And every time somebody played the Safaris, they were trying to create a new DCL record. That is not happening anymore. All right. So you heard it here, but it's a good team. I think they should get a lot of credit. So I think this is a no contest. Safaris is going to wallop home easily against Dark Horses.
Cool.
Going with Safaris too. So this is showcase game, and Yogesh is trying to connect. I'm working with him. Meanwhile, Hari is there. So I'll remove the share, then you guys can speak.
Okay. So Hari,
Yes, sir.
first of all, how do you feel first week? Coming up with with almost like could be a final, could be a semi-final, could be a one of the big playoff games. So you guys are first up against KRCC, albeit different KRCC, but what's your take on that?
See, it's like I think it's same for both the teams because one way, if you look at it, you're done with a good game, good team, just done with it, and then go on to the next games. That's one way of looking at it. And second way of looking at it is you beat a good team, then you start your season and you have the confidence. And for both the teams, I think this is the first time they're playing each other. I'm like this season. Last we played and we lost, but this season the first game it will be a good game for both the teams. And there are new people, I think, at in the KRCC side. But from my team, like we have same people except three guys, but I don't think they will be playing this game. But we'll be same bunch of folks will be playing against them, so it's a good game to watch.
Definitely, I think it will be one of the big games for people to watch.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned about the same squad. Any new additions that we should be looking out for?
This game only one player will be playing, but other two are not available for this game. He's not a big name like like other people around, but he's a good kind of a bowler and a good batsman. It's kind of all-rounder performance he can do. It's kind of a line wicket bowler and a good batsman. That's what I can say.
What's his name?
Who's that?
What's his name?
His name is Arshad.
Okay.
Arshad Muhammad.
And who are the other two players, Hari? Anyway, at this point of time, whether it's all public knowledge or even if it is not public knowledge, that player has committed to you. He's not going to go anywhere.
The other guy
nothing top secret.
The other guy is Umar Jilani. So he never played in Michigan so far. So he used to drive to Columbus and play there. But this is the first time he's playing in leather ball with the Troy CA and also joined us. And there's the other guy called Sabir. So he's one other guy who joined us this year. So these are the new guys, and every other team, other members the same, except we lost Naresh. So Naresh joined. He formed a team by himself with all his friends, and formed team called Hawks. So we lost a good bowler and all rounder, but that's okay. It's all part of the game. That happens. But that's one he lost from our team.
Okay. So. Yeah, go ahead, Parthu. You have some more questions?
No, go ahead. I was going to ask, have you looked at the KRCC squad and any particular players that you basically feel these guys are going to be? Because there are a lot of new names in that squad, people who maybe haven't even played DCL and are fresh and new. So any homework you've done to find out like what their strength and their squad could be?
When I looked at them, I only knew half of them, I would say. I have seen them playing, like Tamimoni and Jasnita. I know we played together for Mission Cup. And I know Skipper by himself and a couple of other guys like Omkar and other folks. Only a few guys I know them, but other guys, I think I heard about them that they are a good hitter and they're good at the leather ball. And I've seen one of the person played in last year Michigan Cup finals, I think, against the Legends team. One, I don't know if that guy is Zibin or some. I don't remember the name, but I heard.
Yeah,
I know that.
Ziban Chowdhury.
Yeah, Ziban Chowdhury. So I heard that he can be a good hitter, but that's okay. They are not regularly playing the T-ball, but still, if they can hit the ball, it just goes out of the park. So it's a good game. It should be good to watch.
Again, I think your danger man is Tamimoni. I think that man alone can single-handedly change the game. And I think this is common knowledge at this point of time that you if you are playing against Tami Moni, the first 2 overs which he bowls, they are where he does the most damage. And obviously, KRCC depends upon that, because a quick 2 or 3 wickets immediately puts the team on the opposing team on the back end. And I'm sure every team which plays KRCC knows that, and they also know that. So it's not something which anybody is realizing for the first time. But I think, Hari, I think you are one of the best suited players to play Oni, and so also is Imtiaz, because both of you play with a straight bat. Anybody who goes across the line will see their wicket flying, you see. So I personally think this is going to be a great game. But I think, Hari, you should play. You shouldn't even think about not playing the game, because you don't realize how valuable that wicket is, especially if you can hold one end up. You get my point? And if you can negate Oni for 2 overs, his pace generally comes down after 2 overs. And even if he takes a break and comes back, still it's not the same as the first 2 overs, where that first 2 overs he's breathing fire. I mean, it's unbelievable. And if that ball keeps low, oh my goodness. So it requires a very technically competent batsman to be able to handle that kind of ability. And not too many DCL players can do it. So my personal encouragement is that you guys play. But I mean, I think you guys have a very good unit. Based on,
and also I forgot to mention Mr. Vijay Matta is joining us this year.
Yeah, I think somebody mentioned that either Parthiv or Satya mentioned that Vijay Matta is joining. So, so now all the other Falcons guys, where are they going? To Patriots?
Patriots, yeah.
Okay.
But Shashank and Dilip joined KRCC. I think Venkat, Srikanth, and Sainath, Raghu Tadi. I think these are going to with Patriots.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to now bring up a question which I want to get both of your opinions. I mean, both Parthiv and Hari. Again, when you come on the show, no easy questions. All right. I always ask tough questions, and I expect a fair answer. Now, all of you know, and this is public knowledge. All right. So I'm not saying something which is not public knowledge. Everybody knows that how many teams this year? 32 teams? Right?
36.
32 teams. All right. 32 teams, but 31 teams are have a non-payment model, right? And then, in other words, we are not paying anybody to play for us. And then we have one team, which is KRCC. Everybody knows, it's public knowledge. They pay top dollar and bring these players. So without that, these players are not going to play. All right. So they are very clear about it. You pay us, I don't know, I hear astronomical figures like $165, $175 per game. We'll come and play. And, Yogesh is willing to pay it. More power to him. Now, we had the same model before where we had Majid who used to do that. And I would love to see a game where Majid and Yogesh go head to head. And I'm sure the players would love it, because there will be a lot of bidding for these players, and they probably will make astronomical salaries, whatever it is. But my question is this payment model versus, I saw last year, it did not work. DCL finals, KRCC lost. Indoor finals, KRCC lost. Majid, yes, did the payment model. Somehow it hasn't worked, in the sense that I don't see any DCL Cup next to his name. My question is, of course, if you ask me, who do I respect, payment versus non-payment? If Hari Parankusam can win a championship, I'll respect that. I'll respect the Indus Thunders for winning it, because they are not paying any players, but they won it because their management skill was exceptional. Nobody prevents anybody from paying anybody. You're welcome to pay anybody who you want. Anything which I have said is all public knowledge. This is, but just that this is the first time somebody is probably speaking it out in the open. But having said that, does the payment model work? What do you think of a skipper who wins without the payment model versus a skipper who wins with the payment model? I want your frank answers.
So, yeah, I'll go first. So regarding the payment model, I think yes. I don't think that will be long lasting because I think what binds the team is not the payment and you're playing cricket. It's the outside thing, the culture, the family, friends, and all that camaraderie which it takes place between them that binds the team together. So if a player leaves another team, it's because of the culture and the leadership. It's not because he's going to earn something more or he's going to get something more. It's mainly because of that. And in your second question, whether how would I rate a captain who's non-paying versus paying? I think it's unfair to say that the paying captain is not as good as non-paying captain because I think in every league, I think you mature and you get to the next level. Maybe DCL is getting to the next level where you have professionalism in cricket. IPL, was that leap which BCCI did. Basically, now IPL is like a professional cricket. Everybody pays for money, and you see a lot of West Indian cricketers, Australian cricketers, South African cricketers, and even English cricketers. They are not playing for their country, but they're playing for their franchises because that's
Agreed,
where the
partner.
money is.
But then everybody else is also paying everybody else. You get my point. It's payment all across. You get my point.
Yeah,
Whereas
but in that
now,
case, but
go ahead.
in that case, you would say, why aren't they loyal to their country versus the money? I mean, that you can still argue on that fact that there is still that you are, what is right and wrong ethically. In this case, also at our level, this may be, this the thing, what is ethical and what's not ethical. Paying players versus, not playing.
Oh,
paying
I
as
mean,
a country.
I don't think there's anything unethical about paying the player. There's nothing wrong about it.
No,
I'm
I mean,
only
I won't
talking
say
about.
ethically, but yeah.
I think it's perfectly ethical. I don't think there is anything unethical about paying a player. I mean, if somebody wants to play, it's a free country. You are more than
Yeah.
welcome to pay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the model which you decided. I'm only questioning as the question is with regards to, well, hey, are you buying the cup or are you trying to win the cup because we are all playing by the same rules? That's my question. I mean, let me pose that question to Hari Parankusam now.
See, I think Parthiv nailed it. He covered most of all the topics, and I would like to add one thing is that depends upon the captain. It's not unethical that paying the players because it's up to the captain, up to the team and their team dynamics. If they need a bowler or a batsman, and who is someone ready to play and have a good caliber and wanted to get paid, yeah, I'm like, why not? Captains are okay to pay them, and to play for the team.
And remember, most of these players, that's what I've heard, is they have their day jobs, which are in like gas stations and restaurants and those stuff. They are not the typical IT professionals
folks,
who are earning like $80 or $100 an hour or whatever. So
Yeah.
they need that compensation. If they're not working that time and playing cricket for you, they need to be compensated. So that's another factor which I've heard. Now again, I don't know if that is true for everyone.
The major difference would be, let's say, if team, let's say I'm talking about 2013, 11, 12, when we went to finals and won the cup once, and then in any team, in fact, any team who is not paying a single penny to any player and they're all playing together, like as Parthiv, you said, the camaraderie, the togetherness they bring to the team and the heartfulness, and they play, heart out, right? But if you pay the player, they might not feel that bad. If they lose a game, that's okay. It's part of one of the game they play, and they just take the money and go away. But the core team or core people, if they have formed as a team and play it, if they lose it, they'll sit in the ground for the next 1-2 hours and they'll keep talking about it. But the players of this type, just go on because they have to play the second game somewhere else.
Yep.
And they don't really feel about anything. They don't come for the practice, or they don't really, be part of the team and, the strategy, the discussions, the team playing 11 and all those things. They know that they are going to play. They come at morning 8:30 and play and just leave. That's it.
Right.
So,
and this model has been tried a few times, and it hasn't worked out on the long run. So KRCC might try this model again this year, but I'm pretty sure next year they'll realize that it's not something they can go longer. So if they don't win the championship this year, I don't see them continuing with this kind of model next year?
Yeah, it will not sustain with all this payment model. It will not go wrong.
Yep.
Unless Yogesh is a millionaire and he's trying to spend money, that's okay. That's a different thing. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just curious because some people had asked me about it, and I said, okay, you know what, I'll bring it up. I have no problems bringing up the question, but it's good to get a potpourri of opinions. But now that it's the white elephant in the room, and the white elephant is dancing and prancing about, so might as well address that topic. You see, because here it is busy spraying water on anybody and everybody. So might as well address the topic and then move on. Because once you have the topic discussed and moved on, that's the end of the topic. We have at least discussed that. So anyway, we know what's up, but I think it's going to be a very exciting game. It's sad that we couldn't get Yogesh on the line because.
Who's the phone number? Is that Yogesh?
Yeah, it's Yogesh, but he's not unmuting it.
Can you not unmute him?
I cannot. I can only request. I cannot unmute. So.
Okay.
Use star.
I guess we'll have to move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
What's the next topic? It's done.
It's done? Okay. What's that again?
We are waiting. Yogesh can.
I think he's unmute now.
Yeah, unmuted.
Hi guys, this is Yogesh. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, Yogesh, loud and clear.
All right. Way to go.
You keep muting and unmuting all the time. So right now you're unmuted.
Okay, yeah.
Parthiv, go ahead with your questions for Yogesh.
Yes, Yogesh, I think I was going to ask both of the same question, but first game you're going to face a really strong side like Stars.
Yeah.
And we all know Stars has a lot of stars themselves. So how do you see your chances against them? And talk to us about your squad as well, of the good players you've got.
Yeah, Parthiv, absolutely, it's a face-off game. Very, very good squad, bowling attack especially, and one of the best, I would say, in the league at this moment. And we have the strategies made already. Like we just have to keep the nerve, try to put some total on the board, at least around 100 runs or so. But again, you never know the day they bowl, how we face them, and slice of luck and the strategies, if they all fall in place, whether they work or not, it is very critical on that day. It's going to be a very tough game, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so we were curious. Yeah, go ahead. I think we both have this almost the same question, but somewhere or the other. We were really curious, and I think everybody is in DCL, as to how KRCC has suddenly transformed their squad. From reaching the finals, which was at that point and last year was a pretty dominant and pretty strong, formidable squad, and now it seems like you've added more reinforcements to that. So talk to us about what's the strategy behind that? Why the two teams, and what makes the two teams different?
No, we had more players. Like we had a bigger club, so we decided to go with two teams. One is now Detroit Titans, another is KRCC, and then we just want to make sure we have enough players.
Yeah, but these new players were not part of the squad, right?
They were not, but part is some of the players you got, so some of the other teams got. So we have to just make sure we have playing 17, 18, and in the instant we have to, get more players. Like you can't play with 11 or 12. We need to have bigger squad. So that's why we have to look outside. And wherever we can get, based on the positions and what we look for, we are trying to get the talent. It's talent acquisition.
Yogesh, I mean, I think it's a commendable job which you are doing right now, because, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Detroit Titans a separate team altogether?
It's a separate team, yeah. It is a separate team now. Yeah, there are two different teams.
Okay,
One is KRCC and
yeah,
one
there
is
are two.
Patriots.
Yeah. So obviously, you lost 5 or 6 players who played for you, whether it is Gaba or whether it is your left-arm fast bowler. I forgot his name for a moment.
Sahesh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sahesh Wasan, and then Vihar Vaidya, and then Prajwal. You lost about 5 or 6 of those key players.
No,
Obviously, you have to.
I lost 9 players. I lost 9 players, Viju.
Oh, 9 players. Okay, so I thought you had lost only 5 or 6. Nobody is faulting you for recruiting players. If you have to recruit, Yogesh, if you don't recruit, then why are you even the skipper? Oh, that reminds me.
Absolutely.
I have to ask you this. There is nothing wrong with that. You are absolutely right, and every other Tom, Dick, and Harry is also doing exactly what you did. You have to do what is best for your team. You have to go and recruit players. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think Parthiv's question was with regards to the new players. Obviously, some of them are replacement, but I think you have got some very good players in the form of whether it is Muned or Ziban or Oni you already had. And then Ryan, I mean, everybody agrees that right now the KRCC bowling is definitely top notch. I mean, I do not know. And you rightly identified that, if you put a somewhat reasonable total, you can defend that. And I have no doubts about that. But I wanted to ask a question because I am having some, it's not just me. I think rest of DCL also would like to know this question. I want to know who is the skipper of KRCC, because there is Yogesh, then there is Jasneep, and then there is Ronnie, who is telling that this year he is leading KRCC. And then there is Maulik. Maulik hasn't said that he's leading KRCC, but on the field, Maulik is a good captain and he takes over. But having said that, I mean, if all 4 of you came with an opinion to me, I know that I probably will go with Maulik's opinion because I work very closely with him and I know how his brain works. And he has seen me in action, but it's just because of that association and how this thing. But I'm just curious, who is the actual skipper of KRCC? Can you answer that question, please?
Yeah, actually,
for this year.
Viju, you know the answer, right? Basically, it's more of a teamwork. And when we come to lead,
I agree, but somebody, all 4 can't be the skippers, right? There has to be one official skipper. Yeah.
Okay, I'm the official skipper, and Ronnie Bhai is vice captain.
Ronnie is vice captain. All right. So you are the official skipper. So this is what I was trying to get at, because at the end of the day, I mean, again, Yogesh, KRCC is what Yogesh has made. And so this is my personal opinion. And I've said this to you last year, and I'll say this the same thing to you. And I've told this to Hari too. There are some people who identified with the team. The team is what it is because of them. I know you purchased KRCC because at that time, I know you paid a premium. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you paid a premium to Auburn 11ers just to get the rights to KRCC. Am I correct? Because I think it was called Auburn 11ers.
That is 4 years ago. That is 4 years ago.
Yeah. Whereas right now there is no premium. All new teams are just being admitted. But at that time, there was no spots available, and only you have to take over a team. And actually, believe it or not, Yogesh paid premium dollar and purchased KRCC. Is that wrong? No, it was the only way he could get a team. So I actually applaud you for that, because you had that desire to go and pay premium dollar to whoever was the previous owner of KRCC and buy out KRCC outright. All right. And you're put in all that effort. You're bringing this thing. And I also know that you're a pretty decent player, because I saw you hit a 6 of the last ball in indoor. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought you hit a 6 on the last ball or the second last ball. I think it is the last ball. You probably can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But how many other people can hit it? And I also saw you. Mm-hmm. And I saw you keep last year. I think it was against the Bulls, and it was an exceptional keeping effort. So for somebody to say that, hey, Yogesh is not the captain, I just wanted to know for my own clarification, who is the skipper? And if you are the skipper, then you should be playing every game. It's you plus 10 other guys. And anyway, right now, DCL allows 12 people, so it's 11 other guys can play.
See, the thing is, with you, the nature of my business, I can't play every game. I travel a lot, Like, for example, this weekend I'm not available. I'm traveling. And, I travel international and national. If I'm not available over the weekends, those weekends absolutely I'm not going to play, whether it's a playoff or, league games, irrespective.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have some other commitments which goes in parallel.
That's fair enough, Yogesh. I mean, that's perfectly justified, right? We
So
can't.
who is going to lead the team? Who is going to lead the team in your absence? So Ronnie.
Yes. Yeah, I think he's already said that Ronnie's the vice captain.
Right,
so if Ronnie's the vice captain, then obviously Ronnie steps in.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. So,
but I would say, I would definitely put Satish Gaba as a businessman on the top tier. He sold the team, got the dollars, and now he has his own team as well. So.
No.
I don't think so.
No. It was not Satish.
I don't think so. Parthiv, I don't think Satish Gaba is the one who sold the team. Let's not disparage Satish Gaba. Satish Gaba did not sell the team. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, it was Avinash. It was Avinash.
Yes. Avinash made top dollar. Yes. Poor Satish Gaba did not even see a single penny. Trust me.
Okay, then I'm mistaken. But I thought if that was the case, that is the biggest heist.
No, yeah. I mean, Avinash made out well because he sold the team, and that's it. But I don't think Gaba saw a penny. Quick question, Yogesh. Where did it all go wrong with Gaba? Now, mind you, I'll tell you that we will be having Gaba on the show at some point of time, and I'd already told him that I will ask him the exact same question which I'm asking you. And he said, Viju, when I come on the show, I will spill all the beans and I'll tell you everything which happened. So whenever that show is, whenever we bring him on, we're going to ask him the same question. I'm going to ask you what went wrong as to why Gaba had to leave. A tough question.
No, there's nothing went wrong. Nothing went wrong with you. Nothing went wrong. He's a very good friend of mine even now. We speak almost every day. It's just, we have too many players, different aspirations, and he wanted to have his own team. And there is no harm in having two different clubs with two different, captains. I don't see any issues with it. And it's all mutual. It is not like he left or I left or something. It is all mutual.
Okay.
Nothing. We were in total alignment, whatever happened. And we still are very good friends. And I don't see any reasons like, there is a disparity between us. There is that's not true.
Okay.
So Yogesh, you mentioned about different aspirations. What can you highlight? What aspirations?
No, like aspirations means like you need to you want to do something, and in a good manner. Like you see your team differently, and nothing much basically.
Who is the captain for Detroit Titans?
Not aspirations.
Gaba.
What is that?
Gaba.
Maybe that could be the aspiration. We don't know.
No, he was the captain for KRCC too.
Oh, okay. No, Yogesh was the captain last year.
Yeah,
right?
he was a vice captain with me. Gaba was a vice captain with me.
See, there you go, the aspiration. Now you got it.
Yeah, I do not know. We'll have to ask Satish Gaba the same question. Then we'll know what is Satish Gaba's this thing. Again, the thing is, every coin has two sides. So you ask the same question to both people, you'll probably get an answer. We'll figure that out. Anyway, the thing is, Yogesh, next question for you is, tell me why KRCC will win it this year when you fell short last year. Tell me what have you learned that you can take away that is going to move this team forward?
Yeah, so I'm not sure about this year. Like every game is a different game, and I'm not sure. The season didn't start yet, and every team is a good game. So I'm not thinking too much about this year. But last year, I know the conditions what we played under, were not optimal, and the wet grass and everything. And also the first half was totally with us. Like when we got them out 19 runs for 4 wickets and so on. And then Panditi came, hit 38 runs, and that put a good total. Even then, and it was 118, I think, and pretty decent total. But we were thinking we can chase it down, but I think they had a good bowling attack, and our opening stand was a little slower than anticipated. Otherwise, it was a good game, and we lost by 10 runs or 8 runs. It was a good game. This year, I don't know. Yeah. We go game by game. We don't know. We can't say anything. Like it's a very tough pool and tough league. we can't. I don't have this kind of vision to see, where we reach. But game by game, we have to take it.
Fair enough. I mean, I think again, I agree with your assessment that last year when they were at 19 for 4, it looked like it was going to be a cakewalk. But then once Oni's spell got over, I think that's when the tide started changing also. But yeah, you have a good unit. I have a lot of feeling that you guys can still probably take that one next step. But we'll see how it goes.
Yes, agreed. But thing is, on paper, yes, squad, everybody, most of the squads look good. But thing is, the player availability and how you play that day. And if you can click and the slice of luck is with you, all these unknown factors will come into play. And whosoever plays good will move ahead, basically. A lot of unknown
Yogesh,
factors, a lot of things.
Yes, Yogesh, as always, you're a great sport. Always willing to take the tough questions. I must applaud you because some of the questions asked are not easy questions, and a lesser man would try to duck under it. But I will tip my cap to both you and to Hari Parankusam for handling the tough questions, because it takes a man to handle a tough question. It's easy to duck. I have no respect for guys who duck the questions, but both of you took the tough questions. A lot of respect. But this is how we grow as a league. We only have to take the challenges which come. But both of you are model examples of how to approach a situation, even when it is tough, and ask the tough questions, and you answer the tough questions as faithfully as you can. So thank you for doing it. And just wanted to applaud both of you. I just wish I could see your face, because I haven't seen your face.
When you come, when you come to US, we have some things already scheduled, right? When you come here, we'll get together.
Yeah, I'm still owed that big dinner at your place.
You got it. You got it for sure.
Yeah. But for those of you who do not know, Yogesh is a wonderful host. All right, I mean, I can tell you, Parthiv, it's your flaw. In fact, you should tag along with me and go to Yogesh's place. He's a wonderful, wonderful host.
Yeah, so, then why not me too? Let me know when you're coming to India. Sorry, yes.
Okay. I didn't want to jump into Yogesh's show, but I wanted to say that Yogesh is
Yogesh doesn't mind me coming there. I don't think so, because we knew each other for a long time. Yeah, of course.
Absolutely, guys. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yogesh has been one of
over.
our... Thank you, Yogesh, for coming over. Thank you, Hari, for coming over.
Yep. Thanks.
Parthiv, you have any other things to discuss?
No, I think this is it for the night. Today was a lot of analysis. Next week we will be also highlighting some of our star performers in the week. So we will have a segment for that as well. So apart from the analysis, and the predictions, we will also talk about the game of the week and the stars or the game changers of the week.
All right. So thanks everybody.
Thank you.
For a change, we stopped it in 2 hours. That's it.
Yeah. All right. See you guys. Good night.
All right.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.